John Fitzgerald Kennedy, an American icon, a charismatic leader, a man whose life was tragically cut short. His image is etched in history textbooks: the Cuban Missile Crisis, the space race, his famous Ich bin ein Berliner speech. But behind this public facade lay a life full of surprising secrets, personal suffering, and moments that don't make the headlines. Did you know that he was the first billionaire president, but donated his entire salary to charity? That he hid a terminal illness for years, taking handfuls of painkillers? Or that Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev gave his daughter a puppy from a cosmonaut dog? Get ready to see the other side of the legend. Welcome to the world of little-known facts about John F. Kennedy, the first billionaire president. Kennedy became the first U.S. president whose fortune was estimated at $1 billion by today's standards. He donated all his presidential salaries to charity. The fortune was not Kennedy's personal earnings, but inherited family capital. His father, Joseph Kennedy, a successful financier and former ambassador, amassed a huge fortune on Wall Street, investing in Hollywood studios and real estate. John became the main beneficiary of this financial power. He almost died before his inauguration. In 1947, he was diagnosed with Addison's disease, a rare and, at the time, fatal disorder of the adrenal glands. His team carefully concealed this fact, as it could have ruined his political career. He constantly took powerful painkillers, judoka with a belt. Kennedy was seriously involved in judo, earning a belt, 4th Kyu, green belt. The sport was part of his therapy for chronic back pain. John Kennedy, honorary chief of the tribe. During a visit to Venezuela in 1961, the Yanomami Indians proclaimed John Kennedy their honorary chief. The Yanomami, one of the largest isolated indigenous groups in the Amazon, had previously had little interaction with Western leaders of this stature. Kennedy's ceremony became a historic event for them, recorded in their oral traditions. This episode was a powerful PR stunt, but it was based on genuine affection. Photos of a smiling Kennedy in a feather headdress circulated worldwide. For Kennedy himself, this was more than just a formality. He sincerely believed that support for democratic values and human rights was key to the continent's future. Was Kennedy a fan of Vladimir Vysotsky? Kennedy's visit to the USSR was planned for 1963. An unofficial program included a meeting with Vladimir Vysotsky. Kennedy was interested in Soviet culture. In 1963, Vysotsky's work hadn't been widely distributed outside the Soviet Union, and the artist was still young and little known to international audiences. The president's assassination thwarted these plans. A letter from the USSR from a colleague. In 1961, Kennedy received a personal, handwritten letter from Nikita Khrushchev. In it, the Soviet leader, speaking soldier to soldier, proposed a peaceful resolution to the Cuban Missile Crisis. This letter became the key to de-escalating the conflict. Kennedy maintained a secret correspondence with Khrushchev. After the Cuban Missile Crisis, he maintained a private, informal correspondence with the Soviet leader, including an exchange of gifts. Kennedy gave Khrushchev a teddy bear, and in return received a puppy from the space dog Strelka. It was a brilliant public diplomatic move. At the height of the arms race, when the two superpowers were trading threats, their leaders exchanged highly symbolic gifts. This gesture showed ordinary Americans and Soviet citizens that on the other side of the Iron Curtain lived not monsters, but people who loved their children and animals just as much. This greatly softened the image of the enemy. Was Jacqueline Kennedy afraid of Marilyn Monroe? In the early 1960s, John and Jacqueline Kennedy were the symbol of the perfect American family. Historians and biographers almost unanimously believe that John Kennedy had at least a brief, intimate relationship with Marilyn. A divorce or a high-profile scandal over an actress mistress could have ruined Kennedy's political career and reputation. Therefore, for Jacqueline, Marilyn was not just a rival, but a potential source of political disaster. For Jackie, 1961-1962 was a time when Marilyn Monroe's name was associated with the risk of destroying everything she had built as First Lady. Kennedy's body was embalmed like a pharaoh. After his assassination in Dallas on November 22, 1963, the president's body was scheduled to be transported to Washington and prepared for its national funeral. A long wait awaited the funeral. To ensure the president's body would be presentable for the nation's funeral, it was embalmed using a method similar to that used for pharaohs. Standard embalming was not sufficient. Therefore, in an effort to ensure maximum preservation, a technique was used that was similar to the methods used to embalm Vladimir Lenin. Lenin's methods, in turn, traced back to ancient Egyptian practices. This caused controversy, as the procedure did not comply with Catholic tradition. We've only told you a few little-known facts about the 35th U.S. president, but Kennedy's biggest secret is still hidden in the FBI archives. A document that could have changed the course of history should have been declassified by now, but its publication has been delayed again. What are they hiding? What do you think really happened in Dallas? Share your theory in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to stay up to date with our next episode.